Welcome back to the desk. We are entering the final stretch of the regular season for WP basketball. The women's team continues to dominate, and the men's team looks to turn things around. Here to break down what's going on at the Rec Center is Matthew Jinks, Matthew Goldman, Sean Buck, and Bijan Pulley. On Wednesday, the Pioneers faced Montclair and defeated them 87-69. This extended their win streak to 8 games. Goldie, who has impressed you in this game?
Megan Sears. Sears came in when Patty Walsh was in foul trouble and really made a big impact. Her 2 best performances this year came against Montclair State. She had 15 points, 7 rebounds. She shot the ball at a 70% clips. So the more depth William Patterson has coming into these NJAC games is really going to make them one of the better teams come NCAA tournament time.
Buck, who do you want to highlight today?
Me, it's Jada Jacobs. She had the first career recorded triple-double in women's program history. She was quoted at the end of the game, the post game, with Mr. Matthew Goldman. She just wanted to make Rutgers as frustrated as possible, and evidently it worked as the Pioneers continued their success this season.
Bijan.
I got to go with Patty Walsh. In this game, she had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks while shooting an efficient 6-12 in the field. Her rim protection was incredible all game. She had great positioning as a lone man or a weak side rim protector. And even when she wasn't blocking shots, she deterred a lot of shots. And her presence either forced Montclair players to miss layups that are easy at the rim or pass out back to the perimeter, and the Pioneers were able to reset their defense.
Jinx, finish off with question 1.
I got to go with Luna Kirby. She's really stepped up this season, especially in this game against Montclair, which we knew was going to be one of their tougher matchups. She had a career high of 18 points, 4 for 5 on 3 points, and perfect on her free throws. She stepped up big when they needed her most, and I think that's a big factor why they won.
The women's team are 18-1 this season and are obviously favorites heading into the postseason. The Pioneers are even starting to make the argument for the best team in school history. Buck, what are the main factors for this outstanding success?
For me, I think it's the amount of smart basketball these women Pioneers are playing. They're always making that extra pass. The game against Montclair, they had 5 scorers with 13-plus points. That's huge when you're playing up against the second team in the NJAC. You know, the post-game interview with Jada Jacobs, she said they are not slowing down. They're making one last final push to the NJAC playoffs.
Yeah, the Pioneers are certainly playing smart basketball right now, and it's really doing them a lot of favorites in the NJAC. Bijan, I'll go to you.
I got to go with their defensive dominance. In the NJAC this year, they ranked first in points allowed per game, opponent field goal percentage, opponent 3-point field goal percentage, turnovers forced per game, and steals per game. They have not allowed a team to score for 69 points all year. And the first time they allowed a team to get even close to 69 was Montclair this past Wednesday. Their defense being so great, it gives them a high floor, because even in nights where their offense may be in rut, they can rely on their defense, shutting down opponents on the other end, forcing turnovers, and giving them easy points in transition.
Jinx.
I got to go. I think their leaders are stepping up. Patty Walsh, Renee Wells, Jada Jacobs are all top 3 in points this season. Jada Jacobs had that big triple-double on Wednesday. Wells is averaging 17.3 points a game and has 329 total. Patty Walsh is second in points and leading in rebounds, and Jada Jacobs leading in steals. They're using their strengths together to be able to step up and really advance this team forward.
Goalie, finish off with question 2.
It's team chemistry. The girls basketball team at William Patterson here, I don't know if you've seen the dining hall or just walking around campus, they're always together, and that builds team chemistry in itself. When they're on the court, the ball movement, the shot selection, it's lethal. It's something that you can't replicate when you have a team that's not meshed together. As Sean said, they're not slowing down, so this team is really looking to go forward in a big way.
Yeah, team chemistry is important, and they certainly have that right now. On the other side of things, the men's team is currently on an 8-game losing streak. Jinx, I'll go to you. What do they need to improve to convince the skeptics here?
I think it's their execution, Coop. Their field goal percentage, 3-point, and free throw percentage are all lower than their opponents this season. I don't think they're making shots at a high enough rate to be able to perform at the level they want to. Their opponents are also averaging more rebounds and steals per game. But the good news is these numbers are close. They're only averaging 4 more rebounds and 1 more steal, and their field goal percentage is only 0.02 higher than the Pioneers are. So I think if they just clean up around the edges, they'll be able to win some games.
Goalie, how do the men's team got to improve?
It's going to be a lot on shot selection. They take a lot of ill-advised shots, which is a big reason they only have 1 NJAC win this year. In their 8-game losing streak, 3 out of those 8 games, they've shot the ball over 40% from the field. In one of those games, they've shot the ball over 30% from beyond the arc. Taking bad shots cannot win you basketball games, and the NJAC's a tough conference. You have the only undefeated team in Division III men's basketball in Montclair State. TCNJ was ranked at the beginning of the year. The NJAC had 4 teams to make the NCAA tournament last year. So right now, shot selection has to be key for Coach Chapman and his guys.
Buck?
Yeah, I think it's the pace of play. We see it countless times. The William Patterson men's basketball team just gets outplayed. You know, we just never see a full 40 minutes of 100% effort from this team. We see a lot of these fast break plays. You know, they're kind of almost cherry picking. They're just not getting back on defense, and that's something that really needs to change if they want to make something happen at the end of the season.
Bijan?
I mean, they just got to get off the better start, simply put. During this losing streak, specifically in the past 7 games, the Pioneers enter halftime down on average by 10.7 points, so let's just round up and say 11. If you're putting yourself in that big of a hole going to the second half, that doesn't even give you like an even level playing field to play against teams where you may be better or on the same level, because you not only have to climb yourself out that hole just to get the game even, but even just to have a chance of, you know, winning the game or taking a lead.
Yeah, I mean, if they start off better, like obviously that's a big key. Because you obviously falling behind is, you know, in any sport is not great. And I think if they can do that, you know, they'll have a better chance to succeed moving forward. Tomorrow, the Pioneers will face Rowan the second time this season. On December 13th, the Pioneers lost by a single point to the Profs. Buck, break down this game for us.
Absolutely, Coop. We saw the Pioneers put up 70 points while the Professors put up 71. Pioneers shot 421% from the field goal range, but the Professors only were able to put up 370%. Pioneers had 36 rebounds while the Professors out-rebounded them with 43, and the Pioneers actually did outsteal the Professors 14-11, but still could not come in with the victory.
Bijan, I'll go to you. What are the keys to the victory here to turn things around here?
Well, it's just they got to close out the first half better. In a game where you lose by 1 point, the margins are small, and you can't lose the margin, especially when it comes down to that close of result, everything, the small things matter. So going back in their previous matchup, they entered halftime down 43-33, but that ended up being the case because after the Pioneers scored 12 straight points to tie it up 28-28 at the 4:06 mark, they let Rowan go on a 15-5 run to close out the first quarter, putting them down at 10-point hole, which ties back to my last point saying they got to get off the better start. So again, don't put yourself in a hole early against a team like Rowan, who you are on the same level and are capable of beating, but when you put yourself in a hole like that, you don't give yourself the best chance to win.
Jinx, how do the Pioneers get this win here?
I think they need to take advantage of their opportunities to score. 1 point can be picked up anywhere through a game, even a rebound or steal that could lead to points being scored. But I think this defense overall has done a solid job of getting themselves the ball back on their side of the court. But we saw in the game against Montclair, there was a lot of empty possessions in key moments, and I think they just got to take advantage of those opportunities to be able to advance ahead of Rowan here.
Goldie.
It's going to be shaping up defense on the perimeter for William Patterson because Rowan, 3 of their 4 best players are guys on the perimeter. Those are guards, Taz Catney, Bryson Williams, and CJ Hayes. Defensively, guards such as Tyshawn Pearson. You're going to see a lot more of Nazir Merrick. You're going to see a lot more of Josiah Carey. They're going to have that matchup against them, and they have to lock them down because if they're going to drive into the lane or set up shots, they're going to be wide open from beyond the arc or take mid-range opportunities. It's going to be a struggle for William Patterson. It was a 1-point game the first time around. It can be much closer. The defense on the perimeter is going to lock these guys down.
Buck, I'll go to you now. How can the Pioneers secure victory?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jinx mentioned earlier, Wednesday, the Pioneers had a really close game against number 8 ranked Montclair. They just really slowed down in the second half. We see a lot of the times the Pioneers will come out in the first half, show a little bit of energy, but then once halftime hits and they come back on the court, their opponents just seem to just outplay them so much better than the Pioneers ever can. And I just want to see more effort in that second half. In the past 6 games for the Pioneers, they have never outscored their opponents when it came down the stretch in the last half.
That will do it for this segment of WP Basketball this week. Stay tuned because we're coming up with the NFL and Matthew Goldman's crew next here on WP TV.